Hi, I'm Eaddy Mays, and this is Key Smash Blog, and I'm excited to be here. So keep listening because I'm probably going to piss you off.
Well, welcome, and
Thank
thanks
you.
again for doing this.
No, my pleasure.
So our first question is, do you have a fandom history pre-Teen Wolf? And what side of the fourth wall was it on?
That's really interesting. It's a great question. I didn't know it was called fandom. And I did not know I was participating in fandom. I didn't know I was participating in ships when I was thinking, oh, I hope he ends up with her, and when I was watching Cheers or whatever it was. All kinds of different things. But absolutely. But mostly in literature. I'm a huge sci-fi fantasy junkie. Huge. So read Robert Heinlein was how I started. But Anne McCaffrey, and now it's on to Patrick Rothfuss, and that's all some of my favorite stuff. So that's where I am. But I have not, as somebody in getting paid for a living to be in film and television, ever then participated in happenings or doings or events or online stuff for involving the show or film that I was in. So that is all 100% new. As far as this fourth wall phenomenon, which I do believe used to exist, I don't think it exists anymore. I don't think there's any way in the world it can exist after the internet. If Misha Collins can tweet, hey, I'm at Starbucks and here's what I'm drinking, then there is no fourth wall. Or, wow, this is what we're doing on set today. Look at the bloody blah, 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 The fourth wall's gone. And the way things are done for film and television is different now than they were back when it was speakies, when there was no voice, and then it would just be like the words on the... So, and I think that there are a lot of people I've made very angry. This is me keeping my language PG. There's a lot of people I've made angry by participating in fandom, but in my mind I thought, wait, I'm just writing a note to somebody that likes the show or sharing my thoughts, or yeah, wasn't that cool, or yeah, that freaked me out, or no, that totally shouldn't have happened. And I like that. I mean, I enjoy that side of it, and I think humans are humans, and every human has the right to, as I've said, life. This is not an original idea, you might notice. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I choose to pursue my happiness by interacting with the people that share my enthusiasms. My mom taught me that. Learned a lot more about hockey in the last couple of years since being involved with Hansmoker here and watching this lovely interview. Anyway, but I've learned a lot more about hockey. I've always been a hockey fan, but not like I am now. And go Kings. But and Penguins. But anyway, okay, I digress. But my point is, my mother taught me, be a friend to the other person's enthusiasms. And whoever it is, your kids, or it may not be what I'm into, but I can certainly say, if I care about the person, well, tell me more about what it is you're doing. Really, I don't understand how that works. Explain this, and that's I think how it started. But because Teen Wolf in particular is a fantasy genre, but also because it's got the action and the suspense, and especially the humor, that's always appealed to me. Truly, since the first couple of weeks of this show, when I rode on the van, with Jeff Davis sitting next to me as we drove to lunch at whatever it was, 2 a.m, from when they call it lunch, but it's, where we break for our first meal. And I said to him, Jeff, it's just funny. I mean, I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but I laughed out loud reading the script. And he said, thank God. I did, because that's what he was going for, was some of that humor. And I really saw it. Smart guy. But boy, let's talk some more about that and anger some more people. But so anyway, before I go on and on and on, stop me if I get too verbose. Okay, just slap me across the face. So please.
Okay, so because you do have sort of a fandom history, you weren't as involved in it, I guess we would say. Have you noticed at all how fandom has changed? It's been 4 or 5 years since Teen Wolf started. So even over the last 5 years, how fandom has changed, whether it's negative or positive. And then maybe we can talk a little bit more about how you think it's going to change in the future.
Wow, there's not a lot of passion and heat behind that answer at all. So you want to know just the last 5 years? Let's talk about the last 5 days. Let's talk about the fact that there was just a show with a 10-season history that just did their 200th meta episode called Fanfic, and it featured cosplay, and it's one of the most prolific amounts of fan fiction ever are written about this show, and there's a non-traditional shipping couple that is shipped in that show, and they created an episode called Fanfic, and I am so impressed. So, is it going to change? It's already changed. And I'm very, very pleased and impressed, and I'm excited. And so I was a little bit vindicated. It's like, yeah, see? So when I come to do my fanfic panel, everybody's like, whatever, and other actors are like, fan what? For who? And it's like, okay, that's fine. We'll see. Because what I will say is fandom is changing, and I hope, and I know I'm more than hope, I intend to make a difference and to change, which I'll explain if I can a little bit. We'll see. I'll explain in just a second, but a proactive change in what's happening, being very careful about my words, because of the respect I bear for the people that create fan art and spend their free time creating Key Smash Blog, for example, or Key Smash Blog, or my necklace that somebody chose to give me. It's really stupid. I'm gonna get upset. Anyway, I'm not upset. Eaddy Mays, I never get upset. Yeah, it's already changed, and I think that the what used to be considered the fourth wall, but kind of like the anniversary we just had of the Berlin Wall falling, the fourth wall has crumbled, and I don't think the other side of the fourth wall is quite aware of that, and they get ready to be real clear. But I was really pleased to see that Supernatural was, so very impressed with them. Anyway, so, but more and more that side, not the fandom side, but maybe the other side, is how I'll put that. I would like to continue to see them get it and go, oh, that's what that means. Okay, all right, yeah, and accept it and embrace it and give it the respect. Give fandom and all the elements, the jewelry, the fan art, the fanfic, the whatever it may be, the blogs, all that give it the respect it deserves. So,
do you think that there's a way that fandom, people that participate in fandoms, can respectfully help sort of move that relationship in a more positive direction?
I do think there is a way that fandom in general, not just the Teen Wolf fandom, but all fandom in general, I think that the way we choose to speak to each other and the way we choose to treat each other is vital. It's interesting, I've never been, I've played sports and I love to be athletic, but I have never been a sports fan per se until recent years. But watching sports rivalries, I think there's a natural parallel there, and I think you guys have written about that as well on Key Smash Blog. But but I haven't spent as much time with that post that you guys did as I'd like. So forgive me if I'm
being
redundant.
Busy.
Okay. Just a little touch. It's the whole cancer thing and the torn cartilage thing. But yes, so thank you for being patient with me. But in particular, there is a respect or a sort of like, okay, I hate you today because it's Sunday and we're playing. But come Monday, it's like, all right, it's the shaking hands at the end of the game. It's that feeling, and there's a difference between having pride and having for what you're doing, and then having condemnation for what somebody else is doing. And condemnation, in my mind, is never okay. And there is a way to triumph. And that's why I really do like "love is louder," that phrase, but also in general that movement, and also no hate, which I Don't always do. It's not like I'm sitting here saying these things because I'm just some paragon to virtue. No. It's because I'm a WIP, for sure. And, but that's the only way I think that it can be done. It's funny, somebody on Tumblr, I don't know if you guys said this, and I don't know if I should say their handle. I guess I won't. Anyway, but I have not always agreed with this person, but this person speaks of me so respectfully, and I am so grateful for that. That recently, in the midst of some controversy, I went to the person's Ask thing, and I said, no agenda to this message, just telling you I appreciate you as a human. That's it. Have a good day. And I got a message back that was, appreciated your message, and I appreciate you as a human. Enjoy your day. And it was like, you know, it was just, there were no my side, your side, faction, this, belief, that, condemnation, this. It wasn't. And this person, so maybe this will allude to it, this person, it was awesome, equated me to X-Men. He was Magneto, right? Yeah, and I was Xavier. Yeah, and I was like, right, in what universe am I? That is an AU. I thought, I'm the good guy? It's a new one on me. But the sentiment was, like, she just wants us to, you know, oh, everybody love each other, why can't we get along? No, I'm not that deluded. But I got what he was saying and kind of what he was getting to. I do have that hope. I know it's not necessarily achievable, but I can have a plan for the best, and I can prepare for the worst. You know, and I do think it's possible to overcome, but we got to be proactive and not let the hate pull us down. I got really, really, literally, physically sick when I got a lot of feedback after doing a recent podcast about fanfic. Physically sick, and that was all related to the thyroid stuff, and it was, but it hit me hard, and I barely recovered from that one. But it was, and thank you for your help. And I almost didn't get involved, and I thought, I can't let the bullies win. That's what I teach my kid on the school bus. I gotta stand up. I gotta speak. So, yes, I think fandom can do it by treating each other respectfully and not infighting. Disagreeing respectfully. But they're gonna need help from the outside. And I wanna do what I can there. I'm pissed about it all, and I'm going to do what I can. But
do you want to talk more about what you think you can do?
Oh, it's not what I can do.
It's what you're going to do. Do you want to talk more about what you're going to do?
Do you want me to?
I would love for you to. Are we allowed to discuss that?
I'll keep it as loose as I think is appropriate right now, so that I don't undermine my own efforts. That's what I'll say. When I did, so here's the story.
Okay.
When I did a recent podcast about fan fiction, a couple of months, maybe 6 weeks ago or something, I was sent a Google Doc with a link to a video. And in that video, it displayed members of a television show in an interview that instead were given a piece of paper and said, hey, read that. We're going to do this instead. It was not an interview. And 3 pieces of this were handed out to cast members, and they were told to read this, and it was fanfic. But it was taken out of context. Parts of it were apparently, you can tell as you watch the person read, blacked out. And it didn't make any sense taken out of context like that, a little snippet. And there was laughter and awkwardness, and I was furious. I have kids. I love the people that participate in the production of this show, Teen Wolf. I would not give my kid in a public setting a piece of paper and say, unseen, sight unseen, and say, hey, read this out loud, cold read. Every actor's worst nightmare. Are you kidding me? We laugh at table reads. I mean, the table reads are online. Mm-hmm. There might be where we go, huh, what's that word? What is it? And then somebody will correct, you know, usually it's Jeff Davis, you know, and in fact that happened in that video. It's like, huh? Because it's some unusual word or something different. And we laugh at our own sort of awkwardness and go, hey, what is this? I don't get, and it looks like it looks then like the work is being made fun of. And I think it was. I don't think it was by the actors or the writer, but I think it was by the creators of that video segment. I was very angry about that video segment, and I asked for help in finding fanfic writers because I reported the video and on YouTube, and I said, this is a copyright violation, take it down. They're supposed to have 48 hours to take it down. Well, they emailed me back and said, sorry, you're not the copyright holder, so no. And I went, okay, that's fine. And key smash. And I key smashed and said to the people that had done the podcast, I said, will you help me find these 3 people that had their fanfic written, because the fandom was up in arms about it, and rightfully so, and so was I. Both for the cast's sake, and it's like, don't embarrass my friends. It's just bad. It's bad form. And hey, aren't you funny? I wanted to punch somebody in the face. It made me so mad. Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. It's not exactly no hate, but so I was a little hateful. Okay, but they found one. They found one of those writers, and we communicated on Tumblr, and I gave her my email address, her, him. I say her, but I don't know, but only because one of the names ended in an A, which tends to be feminine in many languages. But so that person, that writer, I said, I can't report your video and have it taken down unless you authorize me to represent you in this. And then if I say, I represent the copyright holder, take it down, then they'll take it down, apparently. And so she said, he, the writer, said, yes, please do, thank you, I'd be honored. Very brief email exchange, but gave me that authority. Well, so it's supposed to be 48 hours once you make that report. So I sent another report to YouTube and said, take it down. And here's why, and I represent so-and-so, thank you anyway for saying that. So to their legal department, emails. So I have 2 weeks worth of emails of battling with YouTube to get that video down. And so I learned a lot about because they kept coming back, sorry, it's under fair use. And I was like, yeah, and guess what? No, it's not. And here's how it's not. And it was, and they were talking about key smash. It was key smash, and all this in the hand and the thing, and I'm like, typing like this, it was terrible. But so worth it. I would get so angry because I thought, you're only not taking it down because it's monetized. Because there's a commercial at the front end of it, and this is some big company that has a bunch of other videos, and you don't want to take it down. And I was very angry. And they came back and said, finally, weeks later, after me saying, you said 48 hours in your policy, and it's been more than 48 hours, and if you're not going to take it down, what's really going on? And anyway, so I laid it all out there in the legal, everything, the code and the Title 17 and all that stuff. And they said, they came back and said, sorry, you're not the authorized holder of the copyright. I said, we went over that on the first thing, take it down, and they did take it down. They said, okay, you're right, that's it, and they took it down. But it probably took 2.5, 3 weeks to take it down. Why? It's supposed to be 48 hours. Take it down and then decide who's right or wrong. But they didn't. So YouTube recently, so that was then, and I was like, yay, it's down. And then they used the writer's name as the writer was the reason they took it down. They didn't put my name up there. Mercifully, the writer was using a pen name, gave me a pen name to use. Totally legitimate. That was how the fanfic was published. It's absolutely a copyright violation. YouTube sent me an email last week that said, oh, your claim has been counterclaimed, and if you don't file a lawsuit or show us that you have filed a lawsuit, then we're going to put the video back up. Okay, you want to go there? Let's go there, that's fine. Let's break some ground. Let's change the game. People that write fan fiction are due respect and honor and do not deserve to be abused or bullied. Nobody does. But particularly the fandom. when you create something and give of yourself, and then are mocked and abused, if somebody did that to my child, and so now I gotta file a lawsuit, I guess, and that's where I am, and that's why things are gonna change. So every time somebody sends me some crappy little note, or this person says, "Oh, well, you're still getting that gotta get that paycheck from, so and so and so and so, and this corporate power and this, and you're not giving us any real answers." Well, I don't have any real proof to give people real answers. I only have what I've seen and what I've been told, and people want to say, "Well, you shouldn't even be in this fandom." Oh, really? Well, guess what? Who else in the fandom has been stepping up and saying no to the powers that be? Somebody needs to. And it's funny, somebody sent me a message on Tumblr that said, you really need to consider whether this is going to damn you and your career. Because if this happens, if you step up on behalf of fandom, will you be blacklisted by the powers that be? Will people stop casting you? Will you become a pariah? Are you willing to give up is this the best thing for your career? Are you willing to give it up? And the answer to that is yes. Because I'd rather live under a bridge and do what's right than receive another paycheck from anybody for doing what's wrong. And if I sit silently by, then I allow what's wrong to continue to happen. So it stops. It's gotta stop. Now I really do sound like Victoria.
Meanwhile,
But
I'm about to cry.
I know. Yeah, I'm about to cry tears of frustration, but it's gotta stop. And it's funny, I thought I would be advised not to, no, and don't rock the boat and the thing. And instead, from my knight in shining armor, I got ooh, this might be fun to watch happen. Well, this will certainly be entertaining, and why don't you look into this, and it might be able to be filed in this court. And I thought, that's a real man that will let somebody like me, be me. And it's a real, not man, that's a real human that knows his own chutzpah, is the way I think. Knows his own moxie, to allow me to have my own. And that's why we're partners. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's also really hot. But anyway, what's your next question?
I don't like the Kings or the Penguins.
So, it was lovely interviewing with you both.
Listen,
but
it makes you feel better. I've gotten ridiculously involved in hockey because of her.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm
What's
like, I
your
don't even...
team?
The Blackhawks.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Poor soul.
If it makes you feel better, I also like the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers, so pity me.
Yeah, seriously, with the Oilers. That was the first hockey game I ever saw in person, though. Actually, saw live was the Edmonton Oilers, and I was like, and everybody was leaving. I thought and I said, I really thought it was 4 quarters. I didn't realize it was 3 periods. Yeah, that's where I was hockey-wise before Mr.
I can
Hockey.
relate to this on a very emotional level.
So you get it, yeah. But but now I'm totally now that I can get into the Kings games, and it's been a big deal. Anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. Okay, your next question for me.
So, do you think that from the people that have contacted you and said that they think that this could be a negative thing, that the fourth wall is crumbling, that there's more fan interaction with showrunners or cast or things like that, that there could be sort of an alienating aspect to the fourth wall coming down for some people in the fandom?
Okay, wait. So the alienating aspect, that they would alienate an actor or showrunner or somebody, that they would alienate that person, or that they would want to remove themselves from fandom, then which?
Yes, that they would be uncomfortable with that sort of level of interaction with the people that are involved in
Lack of a fourth.
Yeah, I might be uncomfortable with hormones in my meat, but it's like, ain't a whole lot I can do about it right now. Or, radio waves going through my brain, or the fact that I think they, since the 70s, have been setting off nuclear bombs in our atmosphere, and that's what caused so much, thyroid disease. And I may be uncomfortable with a lot of stuff, but the fact is, it's inevitable. It's down. It's not coming down. It's down. Have I been a catalyst for that? I didn't think so. I didn't mean to be. Except on that other thing that I mentioned about, like, no, we're not going to let some harm happen to a fan, or these 3 fans, or anything else, or my cast member, whatever it is, anyway. But,
friends.
Yes, friends. Yeah. But do I think people will choose not to be in the fandom? Absolutely. I already know. The most recent one I saw maybe 2 days ago was, Tumblr suggested that I follow Eaddy Mays' blog. I feel unclean, is what the person said. And I was like, I'm going to come through this phone and make you feel unclean right now. I thought, really? You don't even know me. If you knew half the stuff that I did, basically on your behalf, on fandom's behalf, maybe you'd think differently. And it was all because I didn't talk about the marginalization of people of all different ethnicities and women, and the way women are treated, both in this fandom and elsewhere, and like Gamersgate and all that, because I didn't address it. I thought, was I supposed to address it? Come on. But, and they thought apparently I had ignored some ask that they'd sent. I truly never saw it. But what I found, so yes, so the answer to your question is yes. I know there will be people that don't like it, and will say, never mind then. I don't want to participate then if these people are going to be in it. I think that's going to happen anywhere. I also think that there will... Damn it. That there will be people who come up to me and say, I didn't understand why my mother committed suicide until I saw you on that show and interacted with you on Tumblr, and that means something to me. You guys saw it happen here. People come up to me and say, my daughter was nonverbal for months, and she'd been bullied at school, and frankly, I think more than bullying was happening. But she said she had been nonverbal, and Teen Wolf brought her out. I've had people message me and say, I was at my end. That was it. I had nothing else to live for. And then I happen to read some fanfic, which is why I love fanfic so much. I happen to read some fanfic about a particular ship on Teen Wolf, and said, so I was intrigued, and so I looked more into it, and I started watching the show, and I'm still alive today. And I absolutely love this follower. I say follower, but this person that I met online is the only, and that may not be the PC. Wait, but I gotta wipe my face on the table. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I don't need tissue now. Look, mascara on the thing. How bad do I look? All right, stop. I don't cry. It was seasonal allergies.
You're making me cry.
Exactly. It's totally her fault.
Well, but just we've all the 5 of us that write for this blog, that in this blog, have all written posts about how fandom has saved our lives.
One of the original sort of projects that kind of inspired starting a blog in the first place was wanting people to write about what positive effects fandoms have on their life. And so we do, it's called Celebrate Fandom. It's a regular feature, and we have guests come and write a post about how fandom changed their life.
Can I write one?
Please.
Yes.
Okay,
I've
good,
only
yeah.
been begging you to guest post for like
No,
48
no,
hours.
You 48 hours, whatever. Well, I'm just a touch busy. Yeah, exactly. But I think you did say, oh, you could write a guest blog. Winky face. Yeah, exactly.
That's my go-to.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm like, I mean this.
I mean this, but only sort of, but not really if you get mad at me about it.
But I really
No,
mean
I got it. And I would be honored to.
That would be fantastic.
I would be honored to. I thank you for thinking of me, and I thank you for asking me. Yes, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
Exactly.
We'll talk about it later.
So I do think people's lives have been changed. My life has been changed. And if an asteroid hit the Earth today, I'm good. Mission accomplished. What I've wanted to do since I knew that, since I was a little girl, what I've known all my life I wanted to do was participate in the creation of those things that, meaning film and television projects, that I would watch as a young person that changed my life. I wanted to do that. I didn't know if it was as a director. I certainly didn't think it was as an actor because I thought I was ugly and fat and awkward, and there was no way it was ever going to be the on-camera side. Of course, I am still some of those things. But anyway, but my point is that, but truly, and I think a lot of us feel that way. Anyway, the point is, I always knew I wanted to participate in that. I refused to let the haters take away the enrichment my life experiences by interacting with some of the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life, including, well, I mean, you're just okay. But and it's funny, I don't like anonymous stuff, but I get that that's what it's got to be because it's just not safe. It's just not safe. And it's funny, somebody said that about me. Everywhere on the internet, it's my name. And people have said that about me. Like, well, you know what? If she had an anonymous blog, you wouldn't be giving her a hard time about breaking the fourth wall or whatever else. And I thought, yeah, but also I wouldn't be able to do what I want to do and break down things I want to break down and will break down. So keep watching, because it should be very, very interesting. I'll keep you posted. What else? What else you got for me? Then I gotta work my nose while you're doing this. Hold on. Okay.
It's tissue.
Ta-da.
Actually, I think we might have hit on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The last one was going to be if you could change one thing about the way fandoms interact with showrunners, etc. What would it be?
No,
but,
this no.
Oh, you
no.
want? Oh, I was going to say we
No,
talked
this
about
is what I'm
respect,
answering right
but
now.
do it.
No, yeah, because and that's really respect within the fandom. Truly, I disagree. I screwed up. I said the wrong thing. I didn't realize. I learned this from freaking a fanfic writer at a fanfic panel who helped me lead a fanfic panel at a con. I'd never heard the phrase. Your kink is not my kink, and that's okay. I'd never heard that. And then I heard that, and I was like, sweet, I love it. Because I love the spirit behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize when I said it that I'd get my tuchus reamed, get my butt reamed. It's not your kink, because it's not a kink. I get that, but I don't have negative connotations for the word kink. So what I say now is, your thing is not my thing, and that's okay. Do whatever you gotta do, that's fine with me. You know, and I'm gonna do whatever I wanna do. I'm gonna, I don't know, talk with my hands a lot, be loud, be obnoxious, and have crazy hair. And I'm gonna do my thing, you do your thing. That's cool.
That is my thing.
Yes, exactly. Hey, right there, sisters. There we go. Exactly. So whatever, however somebody wants to live, that's fine. But don't harm me or mine. That's all. That's all. And that's why we have laws. But anyway. When Jeff Davis looks me in the face and says, this is what I want for my television show. I want my television show to express this idea and this feeling and let young people know, oh, being like this or being like that or feeling this way isn't all that odd. It's just life. And to accept themselves and to feel good about themselves. And when I believe that, and I know that's what that person wanted. When I see business decisions get made contrary to that, I don't believe. I could be 100% wrong. That's fine. But my opinion is that Jeff Davis didn't stop Steric. Wow, that was a bold statement. So wow, who did? Do the math. If I can do the math, other people can do the math. Okay? In fact, I think it was said specifically today during a panel, not by me. But I wonder if anybody will actually listen or if everybody will want to continue to blame Jeff. That's fine. Do what you want to. But in a couple of years, I'm going to want an apology. I'm going to want people to say, you were right, Eaddy. Oh my God, we blamed Jeff. Oh God, we thought he was the reason. You know what? Maybe Jeff doesn't have as much control as people think. Because it's not all coming out of Jeff's pocket. And there are money people, and there are investors, and there are corporations. I don't know. Maybe somebody's cousin. I don't know. I've got no proof of anything. But what I do know is that man has conducted himself with nothing but honor and integrity toward me. And I believe the fans like to say, well, he promised this, he said he wanted this, I think he was gay baiting us, or he was doing this to us, or he was trying to mislead us, or this. Well, maybe that really is what he wanted. And then somebody came along and said, no, you're not. And people want to know who that somebody is. Do the math. Figure it out. It's there. The information's there, I promise you. I can't always say, and I don't know. Maybe Jeff Davis will see this. Maybe he'll cut it. I don't know. Maybe PTB will see it and cut it. I don't know. I don't care. What I do care about is I'm tired of hearing people run down somebody I respect. Same as I care about people mocking and ridiculing that fan I don't even know that wrote that fic. You know, but they only read a little tiny piece of it. Same as I care about that person, I don't have to know that person to love that person. I love that human being, and that human being deserves respect, and so does Jeff Davis. People think he doesn't, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. Or they can come tell me to my face. We can have this conversation. But I don't want to hear it anymore. I can't stop it, but boy, I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble for saying all that.
I wish we had a mic for you to drop to sort of
Yeah. So wait. Hold on.
Wait,
Asterisk.